So let me define ethics at this stage, once I've said that about morality, about legality, about ethical dilemma. Ethics is a pattern of articulation between a set of values and actions and practices and decisions. And these values and these actions are articulated, they're coupled, they're connected, but this coupling can be loose or tense depending on the situation, depending on the day, depending on your emotional states. But if you look at the patterns, so the daily decisions, behaviors, actions that you undertake, um, maybe in every instance you will not see all of your values, but if you look at the overall pattern, the overall shape, in German it's called Gestalt, the overall shape, you will see these values being practiced or not. And you can only say that you have a value if we can see it in the patterns of your daily life. Ludwig Wittgenstein, an Austrian philosopher, the 20th century, talks about Lebensformen, the forms of life, the patterns of life. So if you're telling me that you're a generous person, you telling me that means nothing, because ethics is not about discourse. But also, if I look at you by the window after you tell that, and you pass next to a homeless person and you don't give any money, I cannot from that just say, oh, look, you're not a generous person because I saw you with a homeless person and you were not generous, you didn't give anything, therefore you're not generous. But if I follow you for a week, that's a weird thing to say, but bear with me. If I follow you for a week and I don't see you do one thing generous at any point of that week, then I can start to challenge you whether you're a generous person or not. You know, so we cannot, ethics is not about discourse. So people coming on TV or coming on a podium or just telling you, you know, I'm a very generous person or I'm a very brave person, that means nothing. What I say to people is, if you want to know about the values of someone, if you want to know about the values of a company, the values of a politician, the values of a country, turn off the sound. First thing. And here it comes from Wittgenstein. I'm not going into too many details, but ethics, values is not about speech. It's about what you do. But also, it's not based on every single separated action. So even if I find one moment where you were not brave or one moment where you were not generous, it doesn't mean that you're not brave or you're not generous. I have to look at the Gestalt, at the Lebensformen, at the overall patterns in your daily actions and decisions to see that. So I wouldn't need to know you or to have a track record of your action. And that's what ethics is. And it means that it cannot be only based on morality, although it can be, but it's rarely based only on right and wrong. It's rarely based on legal and illegal. We all do things that are forbidden regularly. We all do things that are illegal from time to time. But just because you've lied sometimes in your life doesn't make you a liar. Just because you've cheated from time to time in your life doesn't make you a cheater. But if you cheat regularly whenever you can, if you lie regularly whenever you can, then, you know, that means it's part of the values and the principles that shape your actions, behaviors, and decisions. So you see, it's about this overall Lebensformen, this overall Gestalt of how you connect a set of values with actions, decisions, and behaviors. One thing that is true is that ethics is not about speech. It's not about rhetoric. So the first thing you need to do if you want to know about the ethics of a person, the ethics of a company, the ethics of anyone or anything is turn off the sound and look at their decisions, their behaviors, their action, and from that see if a pattern emerge that can be identified as a value or a principle.